Hi, the internet. Welcome to the What Else Show. I'm your host, Robert. This is Bethany.
Hi, internet.
And today we've got a brand new What Else Show for you. Bethany, what else are we talking about today?
Today we are doing a very special movie review.
That's right. We're doing a movie review of John Carpenter's The Thing. We never do classic movie reviews.
We don't. So this is brand new for us. It's
Right.
a new thing.
Right. And this movie's from 1982, so we will have spoilers. You had a little bit of time to watch it.
You've had some time to see this one.
Although this is the first time I've ever seen this movie.
The first time either one of us have ever seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're stuck in that area, go watch the movie and then come back and talk to us about it.
All right. So.
Oh, or maybe we should talk you into watching the movie or out of watching the movie. Let's get into some facts of the movie first. Then we'll talk them in or out of watching the movie.
Okay.
Then we'll do spoilers.
Okay.
Give us some facts
You
about
ready?
the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Here's the big names in the movie. Directed by John Carpenter, obviously. Kurt Russell plays McCready, who's like one of the main characters. This is really just the main characters. There's a lot of tertiary characters.
Are there a lot of tertiary
Yes.
characters? I think this is
There's
more of an
several
ensemble cast, and they don't really talk about any of them that much.
Yeah. So there's several characters, but I just picked out the ones that, like, from this era that would be like the most well known. So obviously
Famous.
Kurt Russell, Wilford Brimley plays Blair, T.K. Carter plays Knowles, Keith David plays Childs, and Donald Moffat plays Gary. So those are like the biggest probably folks.
Do you know this is
that we
Keith David's first film?
Was this Keith David's first film?
Keith David's first film.
Wow, and we're big Keith David fans.
Are we? I heard he's not a good guy,
Yeah.
but I do
Really?
like his work. That's what I heard.
Oh, well, yeah, but I like.
I don't
his
have
work,
first-hand information. This
Yeah.
is just what I heard.
We definitely are fans of his work.
When there's smoke, there's fire.
I mean, Goliath. Come on.
Come on.
So yeah, so that's
Okay.
That's the rundown.
Let's try and talk people into or out of this movie right away so they don't have to watch any more of us.
Let me give the synopsis.
You want to give the synopsis?
Yeah.
You don't want to do some top-level thoughts first? Let's do top-level thoughts, then do the synopsis. This movie builds a lot of suspense. This movie is gory in a weird way. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of mystery to this movie. Mm-hmm. And I think this movie in 1981 feels more like... 1982 feels more like a mini-series than it does a movie for some reason. I don't know why, if it's the way it's shot or the way it's acted, but it really has mini-series vibes to me. It really feels more like the movie It to me. Stephen King's It.
Okay.
Kind of.
All right. I would
Yeah.
agree with that. So here's the summary. In remote Antarctica, a group of American research scientists are disturbed at their base camp by a helicopter shooting at a sled dog. When they take in the dog, it brutally attacks both human beings and canines in the camp, and they discover that the beast can assume the shape of its victims. A resourceful helicopter pilot, played by Kurt Russell, and the camp doctor, played by Richard Dysart, lead the camp crew in a desperate, gory battle against the vicious creature before it picks them all off one by one.
I don't think that's a great synopsis.
It
kind of makes it sound like the dog is the monster.
yeah. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's really get into the movie. Okay, so first of all, I was terrified to watch this movie, and I remember asking you, because I don't like scary movies.
We're getting into spoilers now.
Well, I remember asking you how long the movie is, because I was like, how long am I going to be stressed out and terrified while watching this movie?
How long is the movie?
1 hour and 49 minutes.
Kind of short.
So it's less than 2 hours, and I don't like scary movies, but I could tell. Oh, we should also mention that we watched it on Blu-ray.
We watched it on Blu-ray. Somebody gave a gift as a Blu-ray gift for my birthday.
And we haven't watched a Blu-ray in like a long time. But I could tell from the cover, I was like, okay, I think this is going to be a scary movie. Like, not knowing anything about it. And then I saw the name John Carpenter, and then like, okay, obviously this is going to be, this movie's going to scare me. But I was really excited to watch it because I had never seen it before.
No, I had never seen it before either, and I've heard about it, and it's a cult classic. Mm-hmm. But I don't think the movie is a horror movie per se. It's gory in a weird way,
like
but
sci-fi.
it's like, it's not even sci-fi horror though. It's like a sci-fi
Suspense.
a
Thriller,
gory
yeah.
sci-fi thriller,
right?
Yeah, because the gory bit, you're seeing a lot of gore with the alien creature.
Yeah.
And we know it's an alien creature because in the very beginning of the movie, there's a horrible CGI flying saucer that
there's like a spaceship
crashes to Earth or something.
Crash lands and yeah.
And
we're like, what was that?
Yeah, it feels very disconnected from the movie.
Yeah, it feels very strange.
The beginning of the movie, anyways. I feel like the goriness of the movie, which we see from this alien parasite.
Yeah, I would call it like, or just, I mean, it seems like it's just like an alien creature. Really.
An alien creature, but we never actually see the alien creature.
No, we don't really know what it looks like because all we see are amalgamations of victims that it has tried to absorb.
Yeah, what the creature does, it absorbs living beings and it becomes those living beings.
Yeah.
Right.
So I guess in that way, it's like a parasite.
I don't know. And
it like latches on to people. So I think what it's trying to do is multiply, like much like a parasite. It's trying to breed and get to a more populated area where there's like a lot of civilization, a lot of people, and then it could take over, the entire world.
Yeah.
I actually really liked this movie.
You did?
I did. Yeah. So I've been thinking about it for a while. I've been thinking about this movie like all day. I don't really like scary movies, but because this wasn't really a horror movie, it just felt like it didn't have all the same trappings of like a horror movie that is going to give me nightmares at night. It was suspenseful rather than scary.
Right. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
There's definitely like a lot of this going on while I was watching it.
The music is very eerie.
But it was good.
And it has tropes of a horror movie, like being isolated and things like that.
Right.
But it's really more suspenseful.
And
there's not like a lot of jump scares and like, oh no, what's going to happen when we turn this corner?
The movie, because you mentioned it earlier, like the movie very organically creates suspense, and I felt very engaged with the story. The story is really good.
Right.
And at the beginning, I was like, okay, what is going on? But they do explain it.
Yeah.
They do explain it.
There's a lot of mystery, and then there's not a lot of mystery.
The mystery, and then they kind of lift the shroud from the mystery, and it's really entertaining to watch. And I really liked it.
Yeah. What's interesting about this movie, and I guess horror movies or whatever, versus this movie versus horror movies, is pretty close in the beginning. They show you the monster, and it's not like in shadow or anything. There's like, this is...
There it is.
This is it.
Yeah.
This is what's hurting you.
For all to see.
This is bad, right? Right here. Look at it. It's bad. And they stay on it.
And it was so gross.
Forever. You know what I mean? So they it's very gross. It's it's gory.
Yeah.
But they stay on it so long that like you don't really have, like, you're not afraid of it. You're just like,
you get a little desensitized to it.
Yeah.
But throughout the movie, there is still a sense of suspense because the monster looks different each time.
Yes, that's true.
The creature looks different each time. So it's
depending on what it's absorbing.
Yeah. And I mean, it really kept me engaged with the story. I really liked the story. Also, I feel like we would be remiss if we did not mention Kurt Russell's hat.
Yeah, obviously we're going to mention Kurt Russell's hat. Kurt Russell wears a crazy hat in this movie in the beginning, mostly through the beginning of the movie, where he looks like a gold prospector. It's hard to take the movie seriously at that point.
I feel like maybe it was... So the more I watched it, the more I really liked the hat.
It's crazy. Maybe it looked better on the shelf. I don't know.
No, I feel like they were really trying to say something about his character of like he's kind of
he's an eccentric.
Yes, he's eccentric, and maybe he goes rogue, and maybe he
moved to the beat of his own drum.
Yes, and it kind of had some aesthetic elements that felt very old Western.
It did.
Right?
Yeah.
It did.
Overall, this movie is more about trust than it is about monsters or aliens or whatever.
Right.
Because they can't trust each other because the alien parasite can disguise itself as a human being. It takes over their body and looks and sounds and acts just like them.
Right. And they don't know who's been, like, I guess assimilated, for lack of a better word. They don't know who's still human and who's been assimilated.
Right. So they don't know who to trust.
Yeah.
So that's where their paranoia comes in, because their good friend that they know researching in Antarctica is now could possibly be
an alien
parasite that looks disgusting.
It really reminded me of The Shining.
It does have kind of the Shining vibes. In the beginning,
Right?
there's they're chasing this foreign Norwegian scientist, we think, is chasing a dog through the snow in a helicopter. So there's a lot of snowy background. It looks really nice.
Yes.
It's
Like unspoiled fields of snow and ice, and you really get that sense of like there's nothing out there.
Yeah. And the helicopter is so low to the snow, and the dog is running through the snow. They're really good shots. It's very practical.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Beautifully shot, I think.
That beginning scene more than any
Yeah.
of the other else's. The rest of the movie.
1982 special effects.
Yes. They're very dated.
They're very dated. However, there were still several parts that were gory enough that I couldn't even watch. I'm sure I missed a couple of scenes because I couldn't even look at it.
It's very gory and gruesome, but I wouldn't say it's scary.
Yeah, it's not really scary.
No.
It's suspenseful.
And the scenes are they're gruesome scenes. They're of this, everything always looks wet, and inside parts are like on the outside. It looks gross.
Yes. It looks really disgusting. Yeah. And I think what really added to that suspense was that isolation factor, and that the trust and the isolation.
So let's talk about the ending. This is where the real spoilers are.
So if you have not watched John Carpenter's The Thing and you do not want the ending spoiled, I guess
plug your ears. Turn off turn off the subtitles.
Look away. So the ending at the end, it was Childs and McCready left.
Right.
And we don't really know what happened. We don't know if maybe Childs...
Let's move it back to the ending a little.
Okay.
There's a big face-off with who we know is the alien parasite, a person that is the alien parasite.
Yes.
And they're the last one left, right? And there's...
We think
they're the only alien parasite.
Yes. So their friend, Blair... He's the parasite. He's the one they have the face off.
Right.
With. Yeah.
They know he's the parasite because he started building another spaceship.
Yes. Which
crazy.
was bonkers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was shocking. That was such a twist I was not expecting.
So whoever's left on the team goes after him. I think he takes down 2 of our human characters.
2 of our heroes.
Yeah. Their plan was to blow the place up to get rid of this alien, because they didn't want it to freeze, because it froze maybe 100,000 years ago and is loose now. So they didn't want it to freeze again. Right. So in the end, they think they killed the monster, and it's just Kurt Russell and Childs left at the end. And each one of them thinks that it might be the alien monster. But they don't really do anything. And then the movie fades out and the movie is over. There's a lot of theories for the movie that Childs is the alien monster, the Thing. Because these are some points that people bring up.
Okay.
Childs is lit differently, and the alien monster is always lit slightly different in the movie. Than people that are not infected with the Thing.
I would have to watch it again.
And also...
to see if I catch that, yeah.
Also, someone told me this in real life, and I have not gone back to check to see if this is true.
Okay.
In the end scene, you can see Kurt Russell's breath while he's talking.
Yeah.
But you cannot see Child's breath while he is talking.
So they're saying that you wouldn't be able to see the breath of any of those. So, yeah, that would be interesting to go back and rewatch, because now that we know who the parasites are, we could...
And here's the problem.
Uh-huh.
John Carpenter won't tell anybody.
Oh,
he says
good for him.
He says he knows.
Good for him.
And he won't tell anybody. Not good for him. I want to know.
Well, I mean, I think it's up to whoever watches the movie.
I think you should have put it at the end of the credits, just in words. It's like, oh, Childs was the thing.
Childs was the thing.
Ah, you got me, John Carpenter. So here's my theory.
Okay.
On what happens. Kurt Russell is a human being, and Childs is infected with the thing.
Okay.
And in spring, they're going to come and be taken out, and they're going to show up, and they're going like, oh, man, these two guys froze. They pick them up and take them, back to civilization for a burial or a funeral or, maybe even autopsies. Mm-hmm. And then the thing gets out in civilization. Mm-hmm. And that's what happens.
Okay.
I'm waiting for The Thing 2.
If any movie needed a sequel... They make sequels.
I think they made a prequel back in 2011 that didn't go over so well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
And this movie is based on, I think, a movie from the 50s called The Thing from Outer Space or something like that. Do we rate these?
We could do a rating if you want.
Let's do a rating.
All right. Okay, Robert, what do you want to rate it?
You go first.
Okay, I'll go first. I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5. Because it subverted my expectations. It didn't scare the hell out of me. I loved the suspense, and I really liked the story. And I adore Kurt Russell, and I thought he was fantastic in this movie.
Kurt Russell looks like he's wearing eyeliner in this movie.
He did. Maybe he was.
Maybe he was.
Maybe he was. Maybe they're trying to highlight his eyes, or maybe they were trying to make him look really tired. That too.
Not eyeshadow, eyeliner.
I know, but
eyeshadow makes people look tired.
Yeah. I don't know. You
don't know.
He's got pretty eyes.
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's what it is. No eyeliner. Just beautiful Kurt Russell eyes.
Beautiful Kurt Russell eyes. 4 out of 5. Highly recommend.
And I'm going to go a little bit lower than you. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 with a recommendation. The movie is older, so the acting is a little stiff.
So 1982, think the acting and the special effects.
And the special effects don't really hold up that great. I still recommend it. I really do like the story and the suspense. But, it's tough to recommend this movie in this time.
I disagree.
There's so many characters in the movie, you don't really get a sense for all of them. So when they come up dead, you're not like heartbroken. You know what I mean? They're just kind of a body there. I mean, they do, with the time they have, they do a good job of endearing you to the characters, but not so much that when they die, you care that much.
Well, for some of the characters, I was very emotionally invested. So there's a specific character that looks after the dog, and then there's a character that looks after the radio. And both of those characters, I was very, very invested in. And so one guy was named Windows, and I can't remember the name of the other guy.
So invested.
I was very invested in those two characters, especially the guy who took care of the dogs.
The one that you can't remember their name?
I can't remember his name. But he was so heartbroken at what happened to the dogs, and I was really emotionally invested in what happened to both of those characters. So
okay, well, I wasn't.
Yeah.
But I did give it a 3 with a recommendation.
With a recommendation,
because
and 3's not bad. 3's not a bad score. 3 is still good.
More interesting and a part of film history than it is unbelievable movie to watch.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's a cult classic now, and it solidified its place in pop culture. Lots of pop culture references to this movie, and it just seems like it deserves it because it was really fun.
Yeah, it's a recommended watch.
Although I did many times like, oh God,
Yeah.
I can't,
Bethany watched maybe half the movie.
and that's even with the 1982 special effects. Like I was freaked out by the gore from
They're gross.
1982. Yeah, it was really gross. So I just feel like that really speaks volumes to the quality of what did hold up in the movie. So,
Sure.
yeah. And I think we both recommend it. So
Yeah. It's double recommendation.
double recommendation. Yeah. You should go watch it or watch it on Halloween.
Bethany, do you have anything else to say about John Carpenter, 1982's John Carpenter's The Thing? No. 1982's John Carpenter's The Thing?
I have nothing else to say about this movie.
Yeah, I think I've said my piece.
All right. Go ahead and
Should I
take us
take it
out.
Thanks for watching, Internet. You can follow the show on Twitter at What Else Show. We're also on Instagram at The What Else Show. Please like, subscribe, and share on YouTube. We're also on Twitch at The What Else Show. Do what people do on Twitch. If you have strong or intermediate feelings about John Carpenter's The Thing, let us know in the comments. Bye, Internet.
Bye, Internet. I don't know.
Oh, good thing you brought up how long the movie is.
I didn't know you were going to ask me. That wasn't the focus of what I was saying.